This is Randy. I would like to apologize for the quality of the recording on this episode. Unfortunately, in order for us to put something out this week, we had to do it, and it's been torrential downpours where I'm at. I'm calling across seas, and it's just been really loud, and everybody's fighting over the phone because the phones and the kiosk and everything has been out for a couple of days. Again, you have my apologies, but I want to get something out. I hope you enjoy listening to me as usual.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from an inmate at the Virginia Department of Corrections, Red Onion State Prison. To accept this call, press 0.
This is Randall Via. I'm currently serving 1,214 years for capital murder in Red Onion State Prison in the state of Virginia in the USA. This is my podcast, Red Onion Randy. I hope you enjoy listening to me today. This is Randall Via, currently serving 1,214 years for capital murder and armed robbery. Currently being housed at Keen Mountain Correctional Center in Oakwood, Virginia, in the USA. Welcome to my podcast, Red Onion Randy. I hope you enjoyed listening to me today. If you have any questions or comments or want to leave a message or whatever, I've got a voicemail line. That number is 1-888 524-1932. For anyone outside the continental U.S., just put a plus in front of the 1, and you're good to go. You can also visit my website, which is new and improved and got different features and whatnot, at www.redonionrandy.com. We also have some merch up there. So far, it's just a hoodie and a T-shirt with my logo and everything. You can find that link on my website. I hope you support me. You can also find me on X at Red Onion Randy. I hope you do. Let's get started with the podcast.
Today's episode, I'm going to do on a situation that is taking place over the last couple of months in here at Keen Mountain. It's sad, it's frustrating, it's funny as hell. It's, a whole bunch of different things all rolled up into one. So there's this guy, I've never seen him before, I've never heard of him before. He calls himself Pastor Israel. When he comes in the pod, he's kind of a tall, skinnier guy and everything. He's covered in tattoos, just been covered over by himself. And it's, he basically covered over a bunch of white supremacist stuff with Jesus stuff. So supposedly he's a certified pastor. I don't know how much I believe that, but regardless, it is what it is. So he comes in, he's in the pod for a day or two. I'm just doing me. I don't really like talking to new people that much, but he pulls up on me and starts talking to me and trying to tell me about Jesus. I'm like, bro, I already know who he is, and me and him are good standing with one another. I could just tell from the get-go, he's really, really pushy. It was so bad that he made me want to walk away from my own Christianity. He had me wanting to throw my Bible away. It was that bad. just kind of, all right, bro, I got stuff to do, man. I'll talk to you later. With really no intention of talking to him. I didn't quite succeed in that because, he would keep coming around and, he found out that, I'm into martial arts and, I work out all the time and stuff like that. So he's like, yeah, I was trained by this dude that was trained by Bruce Lee, I'm G-Coup Dog Master, and, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. He's like, man, you want me to teach? You want me to train you? I'm good with my crowd, man. I don't, I appreciate it, but no thanks. So I see him. He's got this other dude, this young dude that he's trying to train and teach. And this is the thing, what he doesn't know. I actually had Bruce Lee's book at Red Onion that, had all this stuff in it. The stuff that he's doing was not in Bruce Lee's book at all. It is what it is, and I don't really care. I didn't expose him, I didn't call him out on it or anything like that. I just let him do him. So he started teaching this other dude named Meathead. And Meathead worked in the chaplain's office. And he was an alright guy. Me and Meathead got along, pretty good. Someone that had written to me, when they first wrote to me and I read your email and I saw the person's picture, I'm like, you know what? She would be perfect for Meathead. So I pulled up on Meathead's shoulder, showed him the picture and everything. I'm like, look, I'm not going to be able to write this person. One, I was engaged, I was in a relationship, and I'm not going to write a single female, out of respect for my wife, So he's like, all right, that's cool, I respect that. And I'm like, so I wrote her back and I explained my situation, and she's like, thank you, she appreciated it and everything. She wasn't upset or offended by it or anything of that nature. And, she actually wound up reaching out to Mike and now and then to her in a serious relationship. Like, she's like, we owe this, like, we owe Randy. He did good by us. And things were going good. And, so, I don't, this is still frustrating to me. So, time goes by, like, Meathead and Israel, they're talking, they're hanging out, they start working out together and everything. And, Meathead, he talks to some of the people, up front, like, look, man, let me bring my buddy down here on the weekends to help me in the chapel, clean up, make sure all the books are put up where they're supposed to be, and, everything is clean and organized and so on and so forth. So, so he was able to go down there a couple of times and whatnot, and, just looking out for the guy, I don't know what the hell is going on with this dude Israel. Like, all of a sudden he started to kind of change a little bit. He's telling me like, I'm going home on this day and so on and so forth. And I'm like, all right. He's like, look, I'm just trying to get a bag of coffee to make it till then. So I look out for him. I look out for him. Actually, I had two of my friends, David and Sarah. They come visit me every now and then. We get some video visits, contact visits, and whatnot. Because they do live here in Virginia. And they're good people. They have a good heart. So when we're visiting, they ask me about, the pod and whatnot. And I was talking about some of the guys in here, especially some of the older guys. I tend to hang out with the older guys. I try to stay away from the young guys because, as a matter of fact, yesterday, young 25-year-old, I was having a bit of a tough time. I'll go into that in another podcast. That's a whole story in and of itself. So I tend to hang out with the older guys. So, I told David, Sarah, and them about some of the guys. So, they actually sent me some money to buy coffee. And, that's what I did. I bought, 7 bags of coffee, and I gave 1 bag to each person that needed it. Israel happened to be one of them because I'd seen a few things that I didn't really care for in him, but he didn't seem like he was generally that bad of a guy. He just seemed like a guy that was trying but struggling. I can respect that. You know, I have my own struggles, you know, so I'm not going to hold those against somebody else. Come to find out, he actually took that bag of coffee and used it for something else he shouldn't have used it for, especially it was a gift to you. And I gave it to you in the name of Jesus from David and Sarah. So I haven't even told them this because I didn't. They're going to find out now because they listen to all my podcasts. But you know, it is what it is. Like it's just these little things like that. They all kind of, you know, run together and whatnot. So one day I'm in the because we don't go outside for rec, and it's like a Friday morning. You know, and he's literally supposed to go home the next Tuesday from what he told me. And I'm like, all right, fine. So, you know, he's, you know, running back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Meathead is all the way down at work in the chaplain's office. He's not even in the pod. So, all of a sudden, I come out about lunchtime, and he's over there packing his stuff up with the CO standing right there. He calls me over, so I'm like, what's up? He said, man, you know, this dude Scott snitched on me, man. You know, I sold my TV for $200 cash app, you know, because I'm going home Tuesday, and he snitched on me, and, you know, they're locking me up. I'm like, all right, well, you know, I guess you're going to the hole until Tuesday. He's like, yeah, but, you know, all right, good luck to you. I walked off, and I'm sitting up here at the front table with Q and in Jersey. You know, we're talking and everything, and he comes pushing his cart by. Now, this is the thing. Anytime a person gets locked up, you're going out of here in handcuffs. You're not going to walk down there to the hole unhandcuffed, pushing your own property. That's not going to happen. Your property ain't going with you. The CEOs are going to come get your property a few hours later. You know, but you're going down there in shackles and cuffs. So he's like, yeah, Scott snitched on me. They're locking me up. It's messed up, man. Don't trust that dude. He's a rat, blah, blah, blah. And Meathead had just come back and saw him. He was like, bruh, you're walking out of here with handcuffs, man. Own it. You're checking in because of what happened next door. Like, come on, man. Be real. So, oh, man, it ain't like that, man. Meathead was like, yeah, all right, man, whatever, man. You know, I mean, don't sit there and lie, dude. Like, we've been in prison long enough to know how everything works. You know, we're not stupid. So, the very next morning, Meathead gets up and he goes to work on a Saturday. Lunchtime comes around. A couple guys come back and tell me, hey, man, they locked Meathead up. What the hell they locked Meathead up for? He's like, we don't know, man. They said he was under investigation and he's back there in the hole. So comes to find out, this dude Israel, evidently he got mad that Meathead, you know, didn't believe him, you know, and like, bro, you're checking in, like, be real about it. I guess, you know, he got his feelings hurt about it. I guess he thought Meathead should have just believed anything he said. So as it comes to find out, this dude had went and filed an emergency grievance when he got back in the hole saying Meathead, which did not freaking happen. He wasn't even in the pod when dude said he got. You know, they took him over there. You know, they had the nurse, you know, bend him over and stick a Q-tip in his ass and swab him for DNA and all that stuff. There was nothing. Like, there was no evidence whatsoever to support this. You know, and Meathead's not that type of dude. Meathead, like, I know him well enough to know, and, you know, I've talked to people who know this dude. And, you know, because if I kind of hang out with you, I'm going to check up on you. I'm going to see what kind of dude you are, you know, what you're in prison for, you know, stuff of that nature. So, you know, I'm not hanging out with someone that I don't have respect for. You're a known snitch. Like, I'm not hanging out with you. I'm not talking to you. Meathead cleared all that stuff. So, like, he was, you know, as far as prison goes, he's what we would call a good dude. He's somebody that, you know, you don't got to worry about him snitching on you. You don't got to worry about him doing no punk ass stuff. You know, he's a good dude. He's a solid dude, and he will fight. He can fight. You know, it's pretty much all the qualifications you need to be a real man in prison. So he's locked up, and he winds up getting transferred, even though they called the Virginia State Police in and they investigated and they cleared this man, but yet they still transferred him to River North, which is gang central. Every single pod there is a gang pod. Like, it's literally 90% of that prison compound are gangs, and yeah, it sucks there for him. I mean, he'll hold his own. I ain't worried about that. But still, he got screwed. He lost his job. He lost one of the best pods in prison. All because this dude got upset and told a lie. So Israel comes back. He's gone for like 2.5, 3 weeks. Back there at home. They finally bring him back to the pod and put him in the pod. So he runs around trying to talk to people, and people just straight shun him. So he comes to my door. I'm in the cell, and he comes to my door and he tries to explain himself, and literally, everything he says is just contradicting literally what he would say. Because he would say something, I would ask him a question that he would contradict. So I was like, bro, look, I was in the pod. Like, he did not you that morning. He's, oh no, man. Like, it was like 30 days before that he raped me, man. He stabbed me in the hip with a pair of scissors, and he done that down in the chaplain's office. Well, why did you wait 30 days to say something? Oh man, he had these Aryan brothers, man. Meathead was not an Aryan Brotherhood member to begin with. Like, he's never one of them, And he's like, they had my wife's address and they were threatening her if I wouldn't give it up to them. So, okay, all right. What about they had no DNA evidence? Oh yeah, they did. They did. That morning when they took me out here, and I filed the emergency grievance, they found the DNA evidence. That's why they moved him to River North. Bro, you just told me that he didn't you that morning. He raped you 30 days before that. I mean, how? What, you just walking around with it cheeked up in there? Like, you had it wrapped up in a damn sandwich baggie? What? They found no DNA. Right? So he and I'm like, okay, not only that, you sit there and say, well, I'm sure he still has your wife's address. What's the difference? What changed between then and now that makes you feel comfortable in exposing this? You know what I'm saying? If he really did do this, which he didn't. Dude, no, answer. Oh man, I thought you was gonna be on my side. No, bro, I was never on your side. You're just a dude I met in prison. I talked to you. I'm neither for you, I'm neither against you. I don't like what you're doing. But you brought this on yourself. So, oh man, this messed up, man. Can I get a bag of coffee? Nah, bro, you can't. I don't have it. And legitimately, I really didn't have it. I've been helping so many people in here out that, I freaking ran out of coffee myself at that point. I actually had to go to somebody I know who had an extra bag. I'm like, look, bro, can I get this bag of coffee, man, and I'll give it back to you on store day? And he was like, yeah, sure. So that's how I actually had to get coffee for myself. And yes, I paid dude back the very next commissary day.
For each other like a bullet from a gun, faster than the sheriff's drawing, hotter than the sun. Didn't see it coming lately, I've been on the run. You've seen my face before, so let me tell you something. Darling, you fell in love with the famous man. See my pictures posted everywhere across the land. And if you run with me, you've got to understand that you're holding on to a dangerous hand. If I won't you still want me? 'Cause babe, I want it. Do you still want me?
So, Pastor Israel, he, after the investigation and everything, meat has been moved and whatnot, he does a couple weeks in the hole and then he comes back. Now, this is the funny part of the story. So, he's walking around and everything, he's like, he used to wear glasses, so he's walking around with no glasses now. He said God healed him, which I believe in healing. That's stuff happens. If you got the faith for it, by all means. So he's walking around. Yeah, God healed me. I don't need my glasses. I just went ahead and broke them up and flushed them down the toilet. Of course, now the toilet is stopped up and it doesn't work right, and the plumbers have been trying to fix it for days, and of course, they just can't reach down that damn far with the snake to get this stuff out, and they're not happy about that, but he's walking around squinting. I mean, literally, his eyes are squinting trying to see, but I'm healed. God healed me. No, he ain't healed you yet. I mean, come on now. Like, dude, live in reality a little bit, please. It's not that fucking hard to do. So he's in the pod running around trying to convince everybody that, he was brutally and violently when he wasn't. Now, everybody's turned against this dude. Like, everybody's turned against him. It is what it is. I don't, it's not my crusade. I'm not getting involved in it. So we're coming back from lunch one day, and I don't know how this turned out to be. I'm assuming because this is the thing. Because he had sold his TV, for the $200 cash app, which I found out later that he'd actually sold it for some strip, but whatever, it is what it is. So, now we're walking back from chow, and he's standing right there in front of me. I mean, he's maybe 16 inches in front of me, and all of a sudden, this young black guy, a blood dude named TJ, he comes up behind him, and I mean, he just catches Israel in the side of the head. Boom! Israel stumbles over to the fence and falls down on the ground. TJ he punches him a couple of times, and then he kicks him and he backs up. So when this goes down, me and this dude named Drew, black dude, I mean, big, I mean, this is massive. Yeah, I mean, it's just massive, dude. Like, me and him, we are literally the only two guys that just stand our ground, and we don't move. Everybody else scatters like cockroaches, which, of course, alerts all of the staff members that, hey, something's going on over there, And so when TJ backs up off a dude, me and Drew literally say at the exact same time, the exact same words. Bruh, you going to the hole. Ain't no point stopping now, man. Get back to work. But he just stands there and everything, and, the COs come running up with the K9s, and, they all converge and get on the ground. And me and Drew just kind of look at each other and I'm just shrugging. We just walk off and, a couple of feet, and we just simply lay down on the ground. Ain't got nothing to do with us. We ain't, getting in trouble over it. But at the same time, we're convicts. We're not just going to, lay on the ground before we're told to. Like, don't do that shit, right? Make you lay on that ground. Like, that's what, that's what a real convict does. You don't just do it before they even realize what the hell is going on. So that to me right there, that actually showed me the character of a lot of these guys in here that walk around talking about, yeah, they kill us. You're a killer, bro. Why was you laying on the ground before the COs even knew there was a fight in the first place? But anyway, So they come and, they put the handcuffs on them and, they take TJ down straight to the hole. Even though he broke his thumb, they took him straight to the hole. They did take him back to medical later, once they realized he had a broken. I guess he told them later on. I'm not sure how it went, but he's got a cast on it now. But, so Israel, he never swung. He never got a chance to do anything. Jeet Kune Do master or not, he never had a chance, I guess. So, they took him to medical, and, a couple hours later, they brought him back and put him back in the cell, in the pod, because he didn't fight. So, there's nothing, they can't lock him up for that. So he's walking around. He's got a black eye. It's a little puffy and everything. It is what it is. Guys are kind of laughing and making fun of him. I just go about my business and do me. Every now and then, he'd see me and he'd be like, "Hey, Chris, Israel," and I keep it moving. So literally a week later, we're coming back from chow again, lunchtime. Now, what I didn't know is at breakfast, somebody had come down to my pod from B building. And we're on lock, by the way. They had some CO training, appreciation, survey thing that they was doing on Thursday and Friday of last week. So we didn't get no pod rec whatsoever, but they would let us out long enough to walk over to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then eat and everything, and then walk back to the pod so they wouldn't have to go through the hassle of feeding us in the cells. My thing is, if you can't let us get pod rec, you shouldn't allow us to walk over there to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's just my opinion. If I can't come out, then feed me in the cell. So, I don't know how, this dude got out of B building, made his way down here at breakfast time, like, "Yo, man, who's this dude Israel? Who's this dude Israel?" So, I've heard a couple of conflicting stories. I'm just simply going to leave it at that. Evidently dude left. So, at lunchtime we walk over, we eat, and we come back, and literally again, I'm standing right behind Israel. Israel's right in front of the gate, and it's me right behind it, because I'm actually trying to get back in the pod first so I can jump on the kiosk, so I can send, my wife Nicole the email real quick, "Hey, babe, love you, still on lock, call you when we come off," type of deal, and, go on back in the cell and do me for the rest of the day. So this old 70-year-old white dude named Cowboy, he just comes out of nowhere and he just clocks Israel. And this is where, oh, good Lord, this is hilarious. So Israel, he balls up. Again, Jeet Kune Do master. Doesn't swing a single fucking punch. No kicks, no nothing. He literally just throws his hands over his head. Says, "Oh, God, no. Oh, come on, not again. Seriously, stop, man, stop." Dude, I just started laughing. And again, I'm standing there by myself. Drew, he happens to be at work, so, he couldn't stand with me. Everybody else, before the COs even know what's going on, again, they all scatter and start laying on the ground. If I'm going to be in prison, I really need to be sent to a place where they've got real convicts, because I'm getting tired of this. I really am. It's really starting to affect me, being around a bunch of killers laying on the ground. And I don't get it. So, the dude, I've got to say this, Cowboy put more work in than the young blood TJ did. He's 70-year-old man. He got on top of him, and he just kept swinging and swinging and swinging, until they finally got up. And, was there, lay on the ground. I walk over a few feet, and I lay down on the ground. So they've got him, Cowboy, they got the knee in his back, and, you got this one young CO that's, you can tell he's terrified to death, so he overcompensates, and, Israel, he's over there just shaking his head like, "I can't believe this. Why does this keep happening to me?" So I'm laying there, and I just start thinking of all the times I've seen him training guys and teaching them how to fight. You know, I'm sitting there thinking of all the stories I've heard him tell me about how his master was trained by Bruce Lee and the certain techniques that they would do and that he knows that, you know, nobody else knows, and how bad he is and how many people's asses he even had the audacity to tell me one day, like, bro, like, don't ever fight me, man. Like, I would fucking hurt you, dude. I'm like, okay, you want a cookie? Like, I don't, you know, like, and I start thinking about all this, and I mean, when I say I start laughing, like, I'm giggling my ass off. Like, I mean, I can't stop laughing. And you got over 100 guys, because you got A1 and A2 are out there. You know, because we're the only two pods that eat together, because you got a lot of old guys in my pod that, you know, either don't walk over there, they can't walk over there, so their food is brought to them by another inmate. And then you got A2, which is the kitchen pod, and a lot of them are at work, you know, so they combine our two pods together. You know, so there's like 110 guys or something, give or take, out there. And literally, I'm laughing so hard and I can't stop that everybody else just starts laughing at me laughing and then laughing with me about what's going on. You know, and I mean, the CEO turns around, y'all fucking laughing, y'all think this is funny? Y'all gonna be on lockdown. Like, motherfucker, we already on lockdown. What are you talking about? We're not coming off till Saturday anyway. Like, you know, so I sit there and I tell him, like, yo, bro, I'm from Red Onion, man. I don't care about being in a cell. I like being in a cell, and I just keep laughing. And, you know, I mean, he's just freaking living. And another CO comes over, and he's sitting there looking, and he's looking, and he sees Israel, and he said, wait a minute, hold up. And he actually tells the CO, he says, no, I know why he's laughing. He just got his ass whooped here a week ago in the exact same spot. And, you know, like, and the dude just looking at him, and the other CO's like, what? Like, you can't tell somebody they can't fucking laugh, man. Like, get real. You're not God. Even God himself ain't gonna tell me I can't laugh. You know, I've got freedom of choice by God. You know, so, I mean, it's just, so they took him up, you know, thankfully they didn't bring him back. I guess, you know, they've got him over there hidden in the back of medical, you know, like, they either going to have to transfer him somewhere else, and this is the thing. They can't transfer him to Red Onion or Wallen's Ridge because he's done nothing. Like, he's done nothing to get a charge, except, you know, lie and create a, you know, state police investigation, you know, because he got his feelings hurt. You know, I mean, he's no fighting charges or nothing. So he's going to have to go to PC, or the only other prison they can send him to, because it's pretty much been made clear that every time he comes on the yard, somebody's going to get paid to whoop his ass. You know, whether it's the Bloods or whether it's some of Meathead's homeboys or whatever it happens to be. Like, it is what it is now. You know, once something like that in prison starts, there ain't no stopping it except to simply transfer them somewhere else and allow them a fresh start. But there's only 2 level 4 prisons in Virginia: Keen Mountain and River North. And guess who's at River North? Meathead. So I'm just picturing in my head them transferring him to River North, and literally when he gets there, he's going to walk into the pod, and he's just going to walk straight into Meathead. And then he's really going to get his ass whooped. That's the old Pastor Israel saga. That's what, you know, I've been just kicking back laughing at, because, I mean, you're like the 2nd degree Bruce Lee of training techniques, and you can't throw a single punch, and you got to sit there and scream, oh, no, not again. Come on, please, stop. Like, what the I don't get it. I really don't get it. People,
you have 1 minute remaining.
Be who you are. Look, if you're a fighter and a tough guy, that's okay, great. Be that person. If you're not, be that person. Be who you are, who you were meant to be. Because when you do that, when you are who you truly, genuinely are, that's when you're going to actually start finding some peace and happiness in your life. I appreciate you folks listening to me. Remember, if you want to leave some feedback on the show or, ask a question or whatnot, again, that number inside the continental U.S. is 1-888-524-1932. Anyone outside the U.S., just put a plus in front of the one. Works just the same. You can also visit me, my website at redonionrandy.com or find me on X at redonionrandy. You don't have to, but if you want to, wherever you listen to my podcast, go on and give me some stars, or whatever is appropriate for that platform. I'll take whatever you can give me and be damn grateful for it. But, I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to grow the podcast. I'm trying to reach more people. I'm trying to get my voice out there to help people. The crazy thing is I actually am helping people. And in the process, I'm helping myself. So do what you can. And don't forget, I got sweatshirts, T-shirts, and maybe some other merch coming soon. You can find the link on the website, redonionrandy.com. And y'all take care and stay safe out there. Hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you for using GTL.